Hi, I often get a question on what are the core sources of data for industry research. अगर हम किसी इंडस्ट्री के बारे में रिसर्च करना चाह रहे हैं तो हमें डेटा कहां से मिलेगा? So in this video, I'm going to cover 8 different data sources that you should use when you are starting to do industry research. अगर आप किसी भी कंपनी पे किसी भी सेक्टर पे रिसर्च शुरू कर रहे हैं तो वो कौन से 8 सोर्सेज हैं जहां से आपको डेटा मिलेगा वो हम इस वीडियो में कवर करेंगे. Stay with me till the end. My name is Piyush and welcome again for another video on our channel. If you like the video, please share it with your network. Do subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already, and do share your feedback after the video in the comment section. So let's start with our idea of what are the various sources of data for industry research. The first and foremost source, अगर आप किसी कंपनी पे रिसर्च शुरू कर रहे हैं, that is the annual report of the company and its peers. इनके कॉम्पिटिटर्स जो हैं उनके भी एनुअल रिपोर्ट आप चेक कीजिए. सो सपोज आप टू व्हीलर सेगमेंट पे अगर रिसर्च कर रहे हैं फॉर एग्जांपल, and you want to kind of understand a little bit more about the two-wheeler segment in India, then you'll go to Hero MotoCorp, you'll go to Bajaj Auto, you'll go to TVS Motors, you'll look at Ola Electric, and you'll look at their annual reports, right? You will get data around the industry, broad numbers around the industry, कितने motorcycles इंडिया में सेल होते हैं डोमेस्टिक लेवल पे, कितने motorcycles हैं, कितने टू व्हीलर्स हैं, उसमें कंपनीज का कितना शेयर है. All of that data is available in some of the annual reports. Companies will typically give their market share. Their competitors will give their own market share, and so on and so forth. Similarly, if let's say you want to look at the footwear segment of India and you go across multiple companies in the footwear segment, then you will find information with respect to what is the industry size, what is the key growth drivers essentially. So we have looked at Metro brands and Campus Activewear and their annual reports, and you'll find relevant information about what are the core drivers of the industry. And what is the size of the footwear market in India, right? Sometimes these numbers are relevant when you're building a model of a company to understand कि market का size कितना है, उस sector का size कितना है. So your first source of information is annual reports, and you'll find a lot of data around companies in these annual reports. The second relevant source that you will come across after annual reports is company earnings call transcripts, right? हर quarter के बाद में company अपनी earnings पे एक conference call organize करती हैं, where analysts come and ask a lot of questions. In these questions, the company management a lot of the times talks about the industry and numbers around the industry and so on and so forth. For example, if I go back to the two-wheeler segment, then this is TVS Motors and their call transcript in the latest quarter. And you'll find they've talked about the scooter category, what is the market share, about 31% overall in terms of the two-wheeler segment. If you include both the legacy ICE vehicles and EV scooter, the share is now close to 40% in the scooter segment, right? So TVS is giving this information that out of your total two-wheelers, roughly 40% are now scooters, the remaining 60% are bikes and so on and so forth. Similarly, if you go into Ola Electric, you will see that penetration of electric vehicles is what they say is higher in the scooter segment. Bikes, there aren't too many EV bikes at this point of time, but that will come over a period of time as we look at it. And over the period in the last couple of years, the EV penetration within the scooter segment has gone up from 12% to 20%, so on and so forth. So you get a deeper understanding or insight about these two, segments in terms of the annual reports and call transcripts. We have created detailed videos with respect to what to look in the annual report and what to read and how to read the earnings call transcript. Unke link description mein aapko mil jayenge. Please go and check them out. And those are standalone videos in themselves. Then comes the third source of data, which could be any kind of industry regulator. अगर किसी भी segment में, sector में industry regulator है, जैसे banking में RBI है, right? Insurance में IRDA है, right? Telecom में TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India है, and airlines में you have DGCA, Directorate General of Civil Aviation. On these websites, you find a lot of information. Right? If you look at DGCA website, for example, you can actually go into details about the company, and, in data and reports, you'll find sort of monthly statistics. In monthly statistics, they will give you airline wise data with respect to kitne departures हुए हैं, कितना passenger travel किए हैं, कितना cargo गया है. All of this information point by point is available in actually both PDF and Excel format for your download and understanding. So everything and anything that you want to know about Indian aviation sector is available on the DGCA website. Everything and anything you want to know about India's banking sector will be available on the RBI website. There's a tab called Statistics, under which there's something called as Database on Indian Economy. Additionally, there is a tab called Publications. इस publications में अगर आप जाएंगे तो यहाँ पे you will get monthly weekly, quarterly, all kinds of publications, where everything that is related to the banking segment, all that data is available on the RBI website. So industry regulator, if any, you'll find a lot of information about the industry there. Next up, any industry body. Right now, you may not have a regulator, but a group of companies in the industry could get together and create a body, like, the NASSCOM in IT sector, or you have AMFI for mutual funds, right? Or you have SIAM, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, for automobiles, essentially. So SIAM's website, for example, you'll see a tab called Statistics, where you'll see domestic sale trends for all categories of vehicle, passenger vehicle, commercial vehicles, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, all of that is basically available. Export trends are available, production trends are available. So almost all statistical data that you need is available on this particular website. So industry bodies, AMFI website, for example, will give you a lot of data around mutual fund segments in India and how do those kind of work. Next up, ministry website. Now, some sectors have a ministry. So Ministry of Power, Ministry of Steel, Ministry of Textile. You'll find some of these segments where there is a ministry which is available. If you, for example, want to search on power sector and research on power sector, go and look at the Power Ministry website. And when you go there and you try and check data out there, you will find almost all sorts of data. Here I have picked up a graph from the Power Ministry website, which tells you what is the total established current capacity of India, power generation capacity. So that's about 462 gigawatt, end of calendar year 2024. Out of this, how much is fossil fuel, which is coal, thermal, lignite, gas, diesel, etc., and how much is renewable, non-fossil fuel, and how much is nuclear. All of that data is basically available. Then within the central, state, government, and private sector, what kind of segregation comes within this 462 gigawatt, that is available. You will find details about कितना capacity कब add होने वाला है, कौन से segment में add होने वाला है, 2030 तक हमारा capacity कितना होगा. अगर आप जाके चेक करना चाहें तो आपको पूरा डिटेल मिलेगा ऑन द पावर मिनिस्ट्री वेबसाइट अबाउट कितने यूनिट्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन इंडिया में हो रहा है, पावर डिमांड कितना है, किस मंथ में पावर डिमांड पीक करता है, ईयर ऑन ईयर किस तरह से हमारा ग्रोथ हुआ है. All of this information is basically available on the ministry website. So sometimes you get a lot of data about the industry on the ministry website. So that's your next source that is there. The best source, if you want to find information about a particular sector, is if you get an IPO prospectus of any company in the industry. अगर आप किसी सेक्टर का रिसर्च कर रहे हैं और उसमें लकीली किसी कंपनी ने उसी सेक्टर में अपना IPO recent few years में किया है, so in the IPO prospectus, you will find a lot of information about the sector. How do you find the IPO prospectus? You can go to SEBI's website, and on SEBI's website, under the tab filings, there's a header called public issues. Within this, you can look at draft offer documents, red herring, and final offer. More or less similar in terms of industry data that is there, but we'll look at final offer documents. You can go to the final offer document that is there, click on that and find out details about it. In any IPO prospectus, you will have table of contents given like this, in which there would be a section of industry overview. This would be a reasonably detailed section, panning anywhere between 20 to 30, 40, 50 pages about the sector. यहाँ पे sector की बहुत information available होती है. एक important तरीका यहाँ पे जाके check करने का ये है कि any which ways a lot of the information about the sector is available, पर आप और detail में जा सकते हैं अगर आप individual information के source को देखें. So for example, here I have picked up retail sector information, and this is from the IP prospectus of Vishal Megamart. And if you go and check this in terms of the details, you will see the source available here, right? So now you can see Redseer Research has done this. You can search for Redseer on the internet and see उन्होंने कुछ रिपोर्ट निकाल रखा है कि इस सेक्टर के बारे में, रिटेल सेक्टर के बारे में. तो आपको सेक्टर का साइज मिलेगा, उसमें कितना ग्रोसरी स्टेपल्स FMCG है, कितना फ्रेश फूड है, कितना अपैरल है, कितना मर्चेंडाइज है. ऑल दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इज अवेलेबल. सिमिलरली आई गो बैक अ फ्यू इयर्स, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फुटवेयर सेक्टर. तो अगर हम कैंपस एक्टिववेयर पे जाएंगे तो वहां हमें रिटेल सेगमेंट का एक अलग सेग्रीगेशन मिलेगा, वेयर यू विल फाइंड विद इन द रिटेल सेगमेंट ज्वेलरी कितना है, कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स कितना है, फुटवेयर कितना है, राइट? सो you know that roughly about 1 trillion is what is the expected or projected data that was given then for the size of the retail industry, $1 trillion. Usme roughly 1.3% was expected to be footwear. So you get the aggregate footwear industry, size to kind of work with when you're looking at this. If you want the jewelry industry size, वो आपको मिलेगा. Consumer electronics का size वो आपको मिलेगा. You can back calculate and work with that with respect to what is the size of the industry, if you can look at an IPO prospectus. So in my opinion, one of the best ways to kind of find information is search for an IPO prospectus. Go and read the industry overview section in that, right? Next up, consulting companies, all your global consulting firms, the big fours, they keep doing a lot of research in their consulting assignments, right? The one small hack that you can use is you can go on Google, write the sector name, and then if you have come across, read about any of these companies, write the consulting firm name and write PDF. So for example, if I do just a search for mutual funds industry, PwC, PDF, right? You could do BCG, you could do McKinsey, you could do Bain, you could do Deloitte, you could put any of these names there and say PDF. You'll find some of these reports. So for example, you come across a report called the Mutual Funds Route to Viksit Bharat at 2047. इस report में जाएंगे तो काफी डिटेल में दिया गया है कि क्या रोड मैप है म्यूचुअल फंड सेक्टर के ग्रो करने का. तो कई बार आपको, बिकॉज दीज कंसल्टिंग फर्म्स हैव डन सम रिसर्च, इन्होंने कुछ रिसर्च कर रखी है, कई बार आपको यहाँ पे इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाती है रेलेवेंट अबाउट द सेक्टर दैट यू कैन यूज इफ यू आर बिल्डिंग अ फाइनेंशियल मॉडल. अगर आप एक फाइनेंशियल मॉडल बना रहे हैं, किसी कंपनी पे थीसिस तैयार कर रहे हैं, किसी सेक्टर पे थीसिस तैयार कर रहे हैं, तो यहाँ आपको काफी इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगी अबाउट द पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर. अगेन, दिस इज नॉट नेसेसरी, दिस इज ऑल पब्लिक इन्फॉर्मेशन. ये उनके वेबसाइट्स पे अवेलेबल होती है. अगर आप क्लोजली ट्रैक कर रहे हैं तो उनके वेबसाइट्स पे आपको ये इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलेगी. So ये हो गया आपका source about consulting companies. Other segments you could also look at some other things like credit reports मिलती है हमें, right? आजकल you find so you can get credit reports about the company on the exchanges, etc. Credit rating agencies के website पे you can get some sort of reports or sector reports. You can get a bunch of YouTube videos these days. A lot of people, retail investors, some of the SEBI registered research analysts, all of them have started doing very good research about various sectors. So if you do a Google search, a YouTube search on certain sectors, you find a lot of interesting information, relevant information about various sectors. You could go there. Historically, there used to be websites like IBEF, etc. as well. Wahan pe bhi you get some information. But I find some of the other sources more relevant, more recent with respect to the information that is available. So that in a nutshell is the set of sources that you could look at if you're doing industry research. Obviously, there are more sources that you can look at. You can get, broking reports. You can get at general industry analysis reports that might have come across various sources. But in itself, if as a roadmap you start going through these 7-8 sources, that is good enough for you to kind of begin and do a decent amount of research about a particular sector as you are beginning this, right? So that in itself is what I wanted to kind of cover in this video. With this, I'll come to the close of this video. If you like the video, please share your feedback in the comment section. That's it from me. Thanks a lot.